as we get set for game 2 of a 3-game set between the Hokies and Tigers. The Clemson Tigers got game number 1 yesterday. Andrew Allegretta here with Andrew Wells, former Virginia Tech pitcher. Andrew, in 4 years as the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, Monty Lee has been known for his power hitters, and we saw it again yesterday, the performance of Grayson Bird.
Yeah, absolutely. Bird has a great day yesterday with the 2 singles and the home run. Also has the 2 intentional walks. You see that one there, a no doubter for sure.
Welcome back to Blacksburg. Your pitching probables for game 3. The Clemson Tigers go with Askew, who's been good so far this season, a 2.79 ERA. For Virginia Tech, I don't know what the Hokies are going to get out of question mark, but he's going to need to have a big day for sure for Virginia Tech. We don't know.
Question mark it is.
Yeah, has been dealing with a groin injury. Virginia Tech's typical Saturday starter, Chris Gerard, who has been really good, by the way. A freshman out of Wayne, New Jersey. Chris Gerard had a 10-strikeout performance against Florida State, won ACC Pitcher of the Week, but his injury is somewhat emblematic of Virginia Tech at the moment, dealing with a handful of injuries. And talk about Johnny Holstaff, which is possibly the case tomorrow. That's the case here today as Nick Vickers comes in. Just his 2nd appearance of the season. A 6'2" senior out of Canada, Calgary, Canada.
But again, this is that approach to try to get through this one, 6-1. Again, still not out of it. You got 4 at-bats. We talked about it. Clemson carried that 4-run lead a lot yesterday, and it got close as we got to the latter innings. So if Vickers comes in here, you know that Sunday's in Coach Jeff's mind. We talked a little bit yesterday about Scherzer, maybe a guy that come in and give some quality innings if Gerard's not available. But beyond that, you're going to be a bullpen type day, and everybody's got to be ready to step in and contribute.
Hall at the plate, the second baseman, has a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He's 1 for 2 today. The game tomorrow, first pitch at 1 p.m. You can watch right here, ACC Network Extra. Glad you joined us today. That one misses inside 2-1. Luke Scherzer has been a weekend starter for Virginia Tech. He's sort of transitioned into a midweek guy. Right-handed arm, a senior from Powhatan, Virginia. Certainly could see him tomorrow, that's for sure.
A veteran guy for Coach Sheff, but guy that's battled a lot of injury too. I think Tommy John twice, and that's very unheard of. Of course, Tommy John's more and more popular, but 2 times around, that's just tough for Luke and his career at Virginia Tech. But again, a veteran guy who has gotten healthy, and in a weekend like this where you're running a lot of guys out, you got to assume you're going to see him at some point, whether it's in the starting role or a quality arm out of the pen.
Here's the 3-1. Ball 4. So Hall down to first base, leadoff runner on for the Clemson Tigers in a 5-run game here in the top of the 6th. And that brings us to Logan Davidson, the shortstop. 6'3" junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Speaking of Davidson, we just really saw what he could do in that last half inning. The 6-4-3 double play after the leadoff walk to Seegears. Fields it cleanly, gets it over to Hall at second base, and then just a rifle of an arm on that 3rd out. Really takes his time. You think, get rid of it, you're going to beat it out, but not with an arm like that in the 6th hole.
First pitch, up and inside. Yeah, there's a reason that Logan Davidson by D1Baseball.com was named the preseason ACC Player of the Year. 0 for 3 today, but he is a dynamic shortstop for the Clemson Tigers. His father, by the way, Mark Davidson, has a World Series ring. Played for the 1987 Minnesota Twins that won the World Series. That one's popped up and out of play.
Wow.
And well done. Nice grab by a fan down there.
Pretty sure he literally snagged that out of the air. That was not off a bounce, just put the hand out, sucked it up. Ball was up there quite a ways. Saw a nice catch down the left field line yesterday by a youngster. That gentleman with a fine catch of his own. We've got a lot of top 10 going on around here this weekend.
I know, between Virginia Tech's fans and players. But Mark Davidson, a 6-year career. Logan Davidson's father, 1987 Twins. He went 0 for 1 in the World Series. He was the 4th outfielder for a crew that included Kirby Puckett out in the outfield for the Twins.
Yeah, not too bad.
No. Up and away. Count goes to 2-1. Here's a cool story about Mark Davidson. Did not graduate from Clemson. Obviously left early to turn pro. And a couple of years ago, he came back to Clemson, and one thing that Monty Lee offered him is, hey, you're back getting your degree. You're a student. Do you want to be a student assistant coach? And Mark Davidson jumped right on it.
Absolutely. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good story.
The fact that you get to come back, you get your degree from Clemson, and if you're Mark Davidson, maybe a little bit awkward at first, but there's that opportunity to coach your son, spend time with him, and get back some of the time maybe you missed because you were traveling so much as a professional baseball player. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the Davidson family, and really cool that Monty Lee offered that up. And not bad, by the way, to have a student assistant that's got a World Series ring. It's pretty good.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Good stuff, and I think the father-son relationship, to your point, is very quality, and that ball's hit a mile.
But foul off the Weaver center.
Wow. But I think the other cool part is just the motivation for his dad to come back and finish that academic side of things. That's really hard to do. That's why a lot of guys want to finish it before they go. They know they get away, and that's the end of the academic path and don't want to follow up to finish. But see a few more of those guys lately come back and invest in their university, and the degree is very important to them.
The 2-2. Out straight back. I know a handful of Virginia Tech baseball players have done that over the past couple of years as well. Spend that one extra semester that they need to graduate here on campus, get the degree.
See, I took the other path. I just got hurt. Went through the grad school, did it all at once.
Did you get 2 degrees?
I did. See, I make good use of my time here. Not good enough to go away and come back, but good enough to stay a little longer. And look, now I'm here with you.
You are so lucky.
I am.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And look, I know we've talked about this a bunch, and you've done a tremendous body of work throughout your career at Virginia Tech, but I still think the coolest thing is starting that New York Yankees game. It has to be maybe one of the best memories you have on a baseball diamond.
Well, it is. I kind of joked to the point of these guys going to the major leagues and having to come back to finish up degrees and so on, but I feel pretty fortunate. I had my major league career. It was a one-day career, and they were here, of course, for all the wrong reasons following the tragedy we experienced here in Blacksburg, but for them to offer that opportunity, come out here and bring this community together, and our team being the fortunate group of 30 or so guys that got to go up against Johnny Damon and Derek Jeter and A-Rod. Of course, to the point of being here longer than I should have been. That was my 6th year, so pitching coach Mark Turgeon gives me the game ball to go out in the first and get that thing started, and to your point, absolutely an opportunity to, again, bring the community together. Us as the players enjoy it. Yankees had just as much fun as we did, which was really a cool part about it all.
Pickoff move back to first, and there is, if I'm not mistaken, still one notable remnant from that game at this ballpark. Those terrace seats down that left field line were built for that New York Yankees game.
They were, and that was part of the donation coming from Steinbrenner, who picked up the phone and said, hey, we're going to do something to give back and be a part of this healing process. They did exactly that.
There's a strikeout, but a stolen base. Logan Davidson is now 0 for 4 today.
And of course, with that terrace coming first, it was great to see that it was maintained as part of the rest of the renovations here that followed with Whit Babcock's vision and what he did here with English Field at Union Park. But again, that's all Yankees' contribution, and feel fortunate to have been a part of it, absolutely.
So Kyle Wilkie at the plate. He's the catcher, a junior from Georgia. Take a look at that terrace seating. The way this ballpark has evolved, it's become a ballpark, I think, with a lot of character. It really does have a ton of cool, unique little elements built around the Hokie stone that this campus is centered on. There's a strike, and that terrace seating down the left field line is part of that culture and that signature.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You had nothing down the first baseline for all my time here. Third baseline, that beautiful terrace. just in front of the Weaver Center was just a hill, literally just a hill. We came running down it to get to practice, get to games. A pretty good story that you'd appreciate. My stories aren't as good as yours, but I will never forget our bullpen catcher from California at the time. His name was Raleigh Stanhope, and he rode his 10-speed bike down that hill to practice every day. And he was coming in a few minutes late one day. And right up there near the top tier where we see a couple guys hanging out on the far end near the event staff, Raleigh lost his footing on that bike, and you can imagine what that looked like coming down the rest of the way just to the backside of the dugout. That was a heck of a start to practice that day, but I can see it now. He was a character, great kid, worked very hard, bullpen guy, never got a chance to play.
Line drive out to left center field. This one is trouble, and it is down. 1 run will score. Hall comes in for Clemson, and it's 7-1. Off the bat of Wilkie, the catcher grabs an RBI. Clemson by 6.
A good piece of hitting. Again, Wilkie there, good contact. No chance for Seegears or Thomas to get to that one. Easy score for Hall. Got on base with the walk. Talk a lot about that leadoff walk. We started the broadcast with first pitch strike and getting that first out instead of walking. It comes back to bite you. And that'll get Coach Fecto out of the dugout, and I assume the next move to the bullpen.
Well, things have been absolutely reversed. Again, Virginia Tech getting that leadoff runner on and not being able to push him across. Clemson, quite the opposite. A handful of times in this game, specifically the second, the 5th, and now the 6th, Clemson gets the leadoff runner on and pushes them through 7-1. The Clemson Tigers lead by 6. Vickers is finished. We'll get you the new pitcher for Virginia Tech in a moment when we return to English Field at Union Park.